was thinking, people say this all the time, so now what? I've been doing what I've been doing for, decades. It's what I have to do. Now, when do I get a chance to do what I want to do?
Well, and that's what we do here at Omega Wealth Private Capital. We help you get from the I have to's to, wow, I get to.
I'm Brad Johansson.
And I'm Joe Wilson, and welcome to another edition of Wise Money.
You're with us on Wise Money. Brad Johansson along with Joe Wilson III, Omega Wealth Private Capital.
How are you, buddy? Good to see you again.
Good to be back with you on the set, because the way our schedules work, for us to see each other in the office is a difficult thing.
It happens. We're running and gunning and offices everywhere. It's
2025 was fantastic, wasn't it?
Amazing.
For our clients.
Clients, great year for clients, great year for the company and the business. We grew leaps and bounds. We have a lot of new faces and new team members, and we're excited and expanding cities. In 26, we have a lot of new cities we're going to be announcing, not just today. Stay tuned.
Yeah, so we're grateful for wherever you're watching, whether that's in Indiana or in Kentucky or in Ohio. We're grateful to have you. Your time is important. And you know what we're most grateful for is this has become appointment TV for a lot of you. Wise Money, and wherever it's on, whenever it's on, we're grateful for your time. We want to kind of set you up here on simplicity. 3 ways to run out of money, which is what you're all trying to avoid in retirement. We want to set you up for that on this show to be able to say, how can I arm myself? Give me an idea of what we're going to talk about.
Well, I'll tell you right now, and folks, if you know us, you've been watching for a while, we are educators, and it's why we do this show, and it's why we are in the communities teaching at libraries and events. I'm going to be in Indianapolis teaching at the Carmel Library, a big estate planning workshop here this week that we're recording this. We have to understand what is going on. This is a recent study I read, and I think it's why it's so important. And it's why we're going to have our Flourish event, which we're going to be talking about with you today. 45%, hear me now, 45% of retirees, a couple, 65, will run out of money. It's a recent survey that I was reading last week that blew me away. And it's why I feel, as we constantly say, the number one fear right now of most adults is running out of money. Well, why? How can that happen? I'm going to tell you right now, one of the ways that it happens is spending too much. No, I'm not talking about the B word. And I'm not just talking about the budget. Everyone thinks, well, we cut spending back. I think you lose it here. It's poor planning. It's not understanding the cost of living. How many people have we sat with in our offices? We were in a recent team event, and we had folks talking together. We all came together. And how many clients are coming in that had retired, now clients from watching the show, saying, man, retirement seems to be, we retired, things were okay, and then woof, man, it's more expensive. And we've seen that cost, we talk about it all the time, from 2020 to where we are today, over 25% more expensive. It's just poor planning. So number one, you spend too much because it's going to cost more, and we're not using real numbers. So you need a written income plan. Tomorrow, I fly back tonight. I'm meeting with clients tomorrow in our Northern Kentucky office. Been retired a year. They've done this 1 year. We're looking at the spending plan. We're readjusting, recalibrating, because the thing you must have in order to stay retired is what? Money. Income, money. So right there, it is a spending plan that I feel most folks haven't really thought through in the hit of inflation and taxes, because when you look at money coming in, it raises the tax bracket.
Can I kind of bounce off of that as you meet with this person? You say 1 year retired. We're going to sit down with them and talk about a spending plan. Well, aren't you supposed to set a retirement plan and be done with it? 1 year in, we're re-talking about a spending plan.
Yeah, we've been working with this gentleman about 2 years, and came to us from the television show. We did a pre-spending plan before he retired because he was working and had good income, and he wanted to make sure, hey, can I do this? In fact, we met with him and said, you can move your date up. You're ready. You are ready, and they are ready.
Yeah.
As we did the spending plan, They went through, and there's some things they just wanted to recalibrate. Hey, did we take one vacation or two? They took two. Because when we met with them after a few months of being in, I said, go spend money. You're under budget.
And
Let's
finally
go.
got a new vehicle.
Got a new vehicle, going on 2 vacations. Now we're coming back in and saying, what do we want to do in 26? So they're coming in with the plan. They might take 3 vacations this year. They might take their entire family on a trip. All of that is great. What are we going to do? We're going to sit down and do the math, because math will tell us what we can and can't do with a real inflation number, understanding where we're going to get that income, God forbid, if the market's down this year. Where are we going to get the income if the market continues to run? All of that matters in an income plan, because actual returns and average rate of returns are different, and that's where so many people run out of money. They think, well, if I just average 7%, take that out, I'll be fine. To get a 7% retirement, you're going to have a dip, and you have to be prepared. It's why we are educators and teach, and it's why we're going to be inviting you to an amazing event coming up here in March called Flourish, and then we're going to talk about that.
3 ways to run out of money, and we're going to continue to teach. It's important that you know, call the number on your screen if you want to be involved in trying to put together a plan so you don't run out of money. Do it now. We're back after this.
Did you know that 45% of Americans who retire at the age of 65 are likely to run out of money before they die? The top reason retirement fails is because no one has ever showed them how retirement actually works. But it's not too late for your retirement, and that's why I've created a 1-day educational event called Flourish in Retirement. Now listen, this is not a dinner plate seminar, it's not a sales pitch, and it's definitely not cookie cutter advice. This is going to be a live experience for people seeking clarity, confidence, and real strategies so they can have the retirement of their dreams. I want you to join us Saturday, March 14th at the Marriott Cincinnati North. You will be learning the same framework we teach our private wealth clients, so you can even start implementing those strategies in your own retirement immediately. Seats are limited, so claim your seat today by visiting flourishwithomega.com. Come ready to learn and change the trajectory of your retirement forever. What is the number one fear around those entering retirement and just having retired? What is it?
The number one fear is that you're going to run out of money before you die.
We have a window right now where there's some amazing tools where we can disinherit the IRS from that pot of money. So many times you've been saving and doing things, and that might be the right tool for that season. So when's the best time to prepare for rain? When it's sunny out.
When it's sunny.
You don't wait till it's storming. 2001, 2002, 2020. We can go back through here the last couple of decades. There's going to be bad times in the market. Where do you go to get your income? Your retirement cannot sustain that. The only way those work out is if you retire and there are several good years right after you walk out of the office. You have to control what you can control, and you cannot control what happens in the markets. You get one shot at retirement, and if you're missing one of these agreements, that can crush you. You cannot go into distribution years with the same tools and hope that's not a plan.
You want to flourish with Omega? We want you to flourish with Omega. So you can scan the QR code to flourish with Omega. We want people there. As a matter of fact, you want a boost?
Are you going to tell them? Are you going to tell them who you got coming?
Am I allowed?
I'm excited about who we have coming.
Am I allowed to tell them?
I think we should.
Anthony Munoz is going to join us for Flourish with Omega. And the money that we raise with Flourish with Omega is all going to go to the Anthony Munoz Foundation. And you know the good that has been done in our community with that. Anthony has his own story, which is spectacular in what he came from to where he is.
Oh, it's the journey of life.
And he wants to share that with people as they flourish with Omega.
Yeah, and I want to be very clear. This is not just a normal, this is not a dinner seminar. There's nothing being sold here, but we are taking about 6 hours on a Saturday. We're going to provide lunch. It's going to be an amazing event at the Marriott up in Westchester, just north of downtown Cincinnati. So if you're in Dayton, easy to get to. Even our friends in Indianapolis, it would be worth coming over. It's going to be a full day event, and we're going to break down the 5 agreements to be and stay retirement ready. Here's what's important. We're going to uncover and pull back the curtain. You're going to learn exactly what we teach our private wealth clients.
Yeah.
And we're going to do that over an hour. If you've got money and you're getting ready to hit those retirement years, maybe you just retired, This is something you do not want to miss because we're going to break down every one of these agreements in about an hour segment. It's going to be classroom. We're going to have amazing guests. We're working on a few other surprises, but Anthony Munoz will be there. You could get to meet him. I'm going to be excited about this because it's truly helping folks understand areas where there is failure. We're talking about the top 3 ways running out of money. Number 1, spending too much, not adjusting for inflation.
Number 2 is?
Number 2, medical wipeouts. This stat continues as we've entered into 2026. It's amazing to see nationally the absolute impact healthcare is having on the modern retiree. Find this amazing. Listen to me here. The average expense when you're looking at a nursing home, 3.5 years is the average time, or maybe just even an assisted living. Mom's been having some issues. Yeah. I was curious on this, wanted to do some checking out. Went to an area in Westchester, beautiful area, beautiful place. The apartment, by the time you had help with medicine, help with some activities of medical stuff, just the daily nursing, middle tier pricing on all of that. By the time it all comes out, it's just shy today's dollars of $8,000 a month.
Middle tier pricing.
Middle tier. So we're talking almost $95,000 a year. And the average time spent in that type of environment is 3.5 years. So you're talking about a $330,000 hit. Now, I think we underestimate that as Wall Street. I mean, if you have $1 million, you're feeling pretty swaggy, probably. But as you start to take that money out, and my God, if you don't have it set up correctly and there's a market loss and all of your money is exposed to the ups and downs, and then a wipeout to where you're going to need some potential home care or health care, it can absolutely crush a retirement. What is more crushing if you don't prep for it now? The surviving spouse is the one that tends to suffer down the road because so much money has to be pulled out to take care of that individual. Someone's going to pay for it. And so we believe there ought to be tools that say, hey, why don't we give every dollar you have saved a job to do? I believe in arrows in what I call the quiver. So many folks are just saying, well, if I put in a 60-40 fund, I'm going to shoot that area and I'll be good throughout my retirement. Yeah. I think you need to have money that goes to income. I think there needs to be money that goes to you living your life and taking your vacations. I think you should have money set aside and say, hey, what if something happened? How do I take this little bit of money and hedge the risk of wiping out medical? And if we don't need it, it could be a tax-free benefit to my spouse or a tax-free benefit to the next generation. There are so many amazing opportunities right now where we can help folks place the dollars appropriate, because every dollar, hear me, every dollar you've saved for retirement, 30, 40 years of you working and not hitting that snooze button, putting money in a 401k, putting money in an IRA, saving it in an investment account, you must give it a job in retirement because life will shift. Things will shift. There are 3 stages of retirement, BJ. We preach on this all the time, the go-go years.
Yep.
You retire, you're young, you want to go. Those folks that are coming in with me tomorrow, they're going. We then hit the slow go. Been there, done that. Maybe the knees are banging us up a little bit. What did you tell me the other day? You said, I've hit slow go early because of your knee.
I'm only for a year, I'm slow go early. The knee's got to come back.
And it will come back. And then we hit the no-go. I'm telling you right now, one of the biggest areas people are going to run out of money, because we're seeing it statistically left and right, is they're not planning for the what if of a medical wipeout, and you can plan for it and you can challenge it.
We have Flourish with Omega, but I want to spend some time on this because we're going to get back to it. But all of that and what we're going to teach you is here. And thousands of you have asked for this because Joe has been kind enough to not only pen this, but to give it out for free. So while you have the chance, scan the QR code. I'll give you just a quick second. Scan the QR code because all of this is within the book so that you can flourish with Omega. I want you to spend the time with us.
I think what's amazing to me is we started giving this book away in March of 25.
The numbers are amazing.
And we have mailed out, I think, almost at the end of the year, 2,500 of these books. That is amazing. Folks in your area, your neighbors and friends have one of this, and we have spent that and sent it out. And here's what I love. When folks are coming back in and saying, I wrote this for Papa Dos, my dad, right? And this is what we're going to be teaching at Flourish. We're going to teach it in a way that you can understand it and immediately take this and adjust it to your retirement plan. Because hear me now, folks, there's some simple things that we're just skipping over. How do we know that? Perspective.
Yeah.
How many people do we see on a weekly basis from educational workshops, calling off the radio show, the television show? We're seeing the statements come in and everything is being managed the same way. And that's worked very well. Why? Well, the market's worked. But what happens when things shift? What happens if there's a medical situation? Can your current spending plan survive inflation going forward? Can it survive a medical wipeout? You know why we put plans together that we know that they can? Because we stress test them.
Yeah.
We put them through the meat grinder to understand, will this plan work? That's why this book is special. That's why I'm proud of it. And that's why we're doing this Flourish event. And I want to see you there.
Yeah, the book is great. Scan the code for it. We got to take a break. Be right back.
Did you know that 45% of Americans who retire at the age of 65 are likely to run out of money before they die? The top reason retirement fails is because no one has ever showed them how retirement actually works. But it's not too late for your retirement, and that's why I've created a one-day educational event called Flourish in Retirement. Now listen, this is not a dinner plate seminar, it's not a sales pitch, and it's definitely not cookie cutter advice. This is going to be a live experience for people seeking clarity, confidence, and real strategies so they can have the retirement of their dreams. I want you to join us Saturday, March 14th at the Marriott Cincinnati North. You will be learning the same framework we teach our private wealth clients so you can even start implementing those strategies in your own retirement immediately. Seats are limited, so claim your seat today by visiting flourishwithomega.com. Come ready to learn and change the trajectory of your retirement forever. You have saved your whole life for retirement, but the question you need to be asking right now is, how much of that will you actually get to keep? If your money's in a traditional IRA or 401k, maybe you're a 403b or government worker, 457, you have a partner in every dollar of that money, and that is Uncle Sam. Every time you take money out of those accounts, it's going to be taxable. With tax rates potentially rising in the future, the cost of doing nothing could be significant. A Roth conversion could offer a chance to reduce that future tax exposure. The question you should be asking is, what could your future tax exposure look like, and does it make sense for you to do a Roth conversion? I want you to scan the QR code or visit owrothquiz.com. Take a few minutes to take our Roth conversion quiz. Why don't you find out if a Roth conversion could put you and your family in a better position so you can be and stay retirement ready?
So glad you are with us on Wise Money. Brad Johansson, Joe Wilson III. I want to make sure that you flourish with us. We do this daily, but now we're putting together a plan so that we can grab a bunch of people together so you can flourish with omega.com. I want you to scan this code because we're going to put it together. We talked about it. Anthony Munoz is going to come and speak. We're going to have.
You're going to be emceeing the event.
I'm going to lead and then shut up and get out of the way for the people who really want to flourish with Omega. Scan the QR code. It is in March.
March 14th, Saturday. It'd be a great time to come together and learn. And you're going to learn the tools we teach our private wealth clients.
3 ways to run out of money that we're focusing on today. You talked about too early. Now we want to get to sequence of return risk. Why is this our third?
Yeah, I think the third that we're seeing is I've gone back and reflect. There's 2 areas that I see most folks with plans probably missing here. Number one is we've had such amazing growth in parts of the market. 42%, hear me now, 42% of the S&P 500 is controlled by 10 names. That's it. Almost half the return of the S&P 500 is 10 names. Now, that's a good thing. And it's a good thing probably for your portfolios. But my question to you is, what if that retracts back? How will your income plan be affected if things check back? Because one thing I know, I've done this a long time, the market just doesn't continue to go straight up. It is like a yo-yo on an escalator. But you're no longer just putting money in, you're starting to take money out in retirement. And it's an area that is absolutely crippling folks. When 2022 hits and bonds don't work and stocks don't work and they don't have a place to get income, they can survive it for that moment. But the impact it has 10 to 15 years later because of inflation can be crushing. It's why you have to understand when bad things happen, do you have a place to get money? Here's the second, the tax time bomb. Now, I know we just got a nice big tax break and we're all loving it. But what's our job? I would say we're almost like watchmen on a watchtower. We're looking out there and saying, hey, beware of the evaders over there. beware, hey, there might be a fire over here. I'm telling you, I see a little bit of a fire. I'm seeing some smoke, and I want to tell you why. We're going to teach on this at our event. If you come into our offices, we're going to teach on this. Our team is passionate about it. You get this book, you're going to understand more about it. Here's what blows me away. Medicare and Social Security spending continuing to go through the roof. Bijo, in 2031, the last of the baby boomers in 2031 will be reaching that full retirement age.
Yep.
It is an absolute pull on Social Security. Something must happen with Congress and Social Security. I think they're going to figure it out. The problem is that plus the medical pool is absolutely crippling right now our finances as a country. Here's what I want you to understand. Federal spending right now is projected to exceed what we're spending and bringing in almost 7% a year is what we're projecting because of the baby boomers' ages and everything else that we're spending money on. That's a problem. We're spending more than we make. Here's how you fix the gap. To fix it, this came from the Congressional Budget Office. Looking at a 38% increase in taxes if nothing is done and we solve it by revenue. 38% increase. What does that mean? You're in a 20% bracket, you jump around 27. That's less money for you to live.
See, we're all happy right now because the tax brackets are the way they are.
And it's why there's a plan and something you should be doing right now about it. Look at this, 22% bracket, you can jump to 30 to 31. Ouch. No, let's not even talk about the 24% bracket that could then be jumping up into 33. I don't know if Congress is going to get it all from this area. I don't know where they're going to solve it, but here's what I'm telling you. We are sounding the alarm. There's fire, there's smoke on the hill. It's why we wrote this book that you can get for free. And it's why we are making a huge push to have an educational event this spring, March 14th, right at the Westchester Marriott in Cincinnati, where we're going to break down every single one of these amazing agreements to help you be and stay retirement ready.
We've got to take a quick break. You need to scan the code. If you want the book is here. We'll send it to you for free. As Joe said, we've sent out more than 2,500 books already for free so that you have an understanding of what it is. You'll read the book, then you're going to want to flourish with Omega. We're right back after this.
Did you know that 45% of Americans who retire at the age of 65 are likely to run out of money before they die? The top reason retirement fails is because no one has ever showed them how retirement actually works. But it's not too late for your retirement, and that's why I've created a one-day educational event called Flourish in Retirement. Now listen, this is not a dinner plate seminar, it's not a sales pitch, and it's definitely not cookie cutter advice. This is going to be a live experience for people seeking clarity, confidence, and real strategies so they can have the retirement of their dreams. I want you to join us Saturday, March 14th at the Marriott Cincinnati North. You will be learning the same framework we teach our private wealth clients so you can even start implementing those strategies in your own retirement immediately. Seats are limited, so claim your seat today by visiting flourishwithomega.com. Come ready to learn and change the trajectory of your retirement forever.
Glad you're back with us on Wise Money. Can't wait to see you at Flourish with Omega, March 14th. Where are we having this, Joe?
The Westchester Marriott, Cincinnati North.
Westchester Marriott.
Right off 75, just north of 270.
Scan the code, get in. A lot of you are going to want the book. You can scan the code for this as well. We've been talking about 3 ways to run out of money: spending too much, medical disaster that you can hit, sequence of returns, and then we get to the tail end of all of this, which is now where we've decided, because so many people need this, is a legacy plan to focus on.
Estate planning and legacy plan. You know, I spent a lot of time reading over the holiday break. I love just kind of quiets the mind. We shut things down, get away. And I'm a nerd about this stuff. Here's what blows me away. The worst thing you can give your kids, if you have kids and you want them to inherit something, the worst thing you can give them is your IRA. That is a disaster from a tax standpoint. Not just taxes, here's some other things. And this is why I think it's so important to understand how this works with legacy planning. Bijo, statistics are statistics.
Yeah.
If half of the marriage is in a divorce and you don't do proper asset planning and legacy planning, that means if this money is going to your kids, 50% is 50%. Oh, it'll never happen to mine. I hope and pray not. But do you literally want half of your life savings to go to an ex of your children? I don't think we think about that. I don't think many folks think about, how do I give it? How do I leave it We're spending year upon years upon years trying to save and do it right and diversify. We try to work on this income planning and tax planning and preparation in retirement, and things are good. But sometimes bad things happen to good people.
Yeah.
How are we going to give it the most tax efficient, the most time efficient? Hear me, the most cost efficient way. You need a legacy plan. That doesn't mean you got to have 5, 7, 8, 10 million. If you do, you better. But if you've got $1 million, you got 750,000, how are you going to give that to where your kids, the people who you want to have it the most, can flourish the most? We write about it in the book.
Yep.
We talk about it in our educational workshops. We're going to preach on it hard in our legacy event on March 14th.
We do income, market volatility, asset preservation, taxes, and legacy planning. It's the 5 agreements to be and stay retirement ready. I want you to take us through this, Joe. Flourishwithomega.com. If you want the book, great, scan the code. But I want you to come to this on March 14th. Tell them what they're in for now as we work through this, why this is so important.
Randy, do me a favor. I only got that. I'll put this up again because I want you to have the syllabus, if you will. You can get it free. We're going to start with income planning. How are you going to get income that lasts you? Where are you going to get money when the market is down? I tell stories in here. It's an amazing place to start thinking about, wow, I've worked, I'm no longer working. Investments. Are you paying too much? Do you have overlap? Do you have hidden risk like I just talked about? 42% of the S&P 500 in 10 stocks.
Yeah.
Asset preservation. What happens if a medical emergency hits? How about tax planning? My God, my God, my God. Make sure you're planning so you have more of your money in your pocket. And the legacy, how you give it to others. We're covering all of that in our Flourish event. You need a head start. Download the book. I want you to come. Again, we're not selling a dinner. We're not selling an event. This is truly giving you the landscape that we do day in and day out with all of our private wealth clients. We're going to have Anthony Munoz there. It's going to be an amazing fundraising time as well for the Anthony Munoz Foundation. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for being a part of our family. You get one shot at retirement. You need to know where every dollar is going. Every dollar needs a placement, because if you don't get that correct, you don't want to gamble with 30 and 40 years of retirement savings. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to see you next week. See you next time on Wise Money.
From tax time bombs to Social Security insecurities, strategic investments that help clean up your junk drawer and keep your income engine running smoothly at Omega Wealth Private Capital. We're fiduciary, independent, holistic wealth advisors, and we're here to turn your have-tos into get-tos. So, would you like your retirement dreams to move from good to great? Give us a call. It's what we do, because we really want to. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope to see you in the office. Until then, I'm Brad Johansson. We'll see you next time on Wise Money.